In today's video, I'm gonna show you step by step how to build a workout plan to gain muscle. Planning a workout routine might seem like a big challenge, but if you follow a few core principles, you'll be able to design an effective routine in no time. Let's dive into it. When building a workout plan, you want to define the what, when, and how of the workout plan. And this requires taking a broad view, so don't sweat the details. Those will come with time. You don't have to have everything planned in advance in order to make progress. Just get the higher order variables in place and then execute on them. The first step is to define what your goals are. Now, for most people, it's going to be either strength gains, muscular growth, and or fat loss, or some combination of those three. Now, you just want to be clear on your goal so that you structure your workout plan according to that goal. The second step is to decide how many days per week you want to work out. Now, part of this is obviously going to depend upon your schedule and availability, but I also want to caution people from training too much or too little. There's this misleading notion many people have that the more you work out, the better your results are going to be. That is not true. Now, if you lift weights 6 or even 5 days per week, you are very quickly going to burn out. Most people cannot tolerate that amount of training and do it consistently over months and years. Remember, the key to achieving your physique goals and gaining muscle is slow, steady, and consistent progress over relatively long stretches of time. For most people, I recommend weight training 3 to 4 days per week in order to guarantee your ability to recover and stay consistent. The third step is to structure your week properly. Now, you want to separate your training and rest days in a way that makes sense. For example, you don't want to create a routine in which you are doing the following. See, here all of your training days are bunched together, and then you have a bunch of rest days, and you should spread it out more throughout the week. Now, if that's the only thing that your schedule allows, then so be it. But it's better to separate out your days so you can be fresher and have more time for recovery in between your training days. Here's a more optimized version of that plan. Now, this structure allows you to have 2 full days of rest in between your first upper or lower and second upper or lower day. And here's a 3-day version of that plan, which also works. Now, with this one, you can also turn Friday into a total body training day, working both upper and lower body that day. So you can hit lower body twice in a week. Now, another example using a bodybuilding style body part split might look like this. Now, this routine spaces out harder days, which hit the bigger muscle groups like legs and back. So those have 2 full days of rest in between them. And it also pairs a harder day, legs, followed by an easier day, shoulders and biceps, which hits smaller muscle groups. So you're pairing a bigger muscle group, then the day after followed by a smaller muscle group, so that you're not too wiped out doing 2 big muscle groups back to back. Now, it also ensures that similar muscle groups like shoulders and chest are spaced out far enough so that you can have adequate recovery in between. Now, the fourth step is to choose your exercises for each day. And this is going to vary based on personal preferences, but I'm going to give you a couple examples of what you can do. In general, you want to make sure that you're hitting all the major muscle groups and doing them in an order which makes sense. Now, let's go back to the 4-day per week upper and lower body routine. So you can see here that you're hitting all the major muscle groups in a way that makes sense and has them ordered logically. Now, I tend to do no more than 6 exercises per day, and in my experience, that's plenty. Now, you can feel free to vary the order that you do the exercises in. This is just something I like, but you can do, like, for example, all pushing exercises in the beginning of the workout and then move on to pulling exercises, or whatever works for you. Remember, nothing is set in stone here, but this is one way that you can order your exercises that makes sense. Now, the 5th and final step is to commit to the principle of progressive overload. And this is the true key to seeing the results you want from your workout program. Okay, no matter what program you're doing, this is the key that unlocks the results. Progressive overload is the idea that your muscles need a novel stimulus in order to see new growth. You achieve this generally by slightly increasing the weight and or reps lifted with a given exercise as often as possible. Now, you can't always do this, and you will hit plateaus in your strength and muscular growth. But committing to this principle will make sure you're making progress and you're on a trajectory of improvement over time. And if you want a deeper dive into exactly what progressive overload is, how to do it, and different ways to achieve it, then watch my video where I break down and explain how to do progressive overload for beginners. Now, in addition to those 5 steps, you do want to make sure that you're eventually taking a deload week. This involves backing off from the gym a bit, maybe going in twice instead of 3 or 4 days, or going lighter, or just focusing on form and technique, but just kind of backing off a bit. That doesn't mean not going to the gym. You still want to get some light workouts in. During deloads, you can temporarily turn off your goal of achieving progressive overload. Don't focus on getting stronger or bigger, only focus on backing off a bit. This will help ensure greater mental clarity and progress over time. Remember, part of being successful in gaining muscle is managing your expectations, realizing that you can't make progress all the time, and backing off occasionally so that you can continue making progress in the long term. You have to allow your body and mind time to reset a bit. And that's how you build a workout program. Now, you just have to make sure you actually want it. And the way you prove that to yourself is just by showing up and putting the effort in consistently week after week. Now, if this video is helpful, then hit that like button and subscribe for more weight training videos.